Hiya, it's Robin here. It's lovely to see you. Now, the 14th of February is Valentine's Day, and it also marks the start of Random Acts of Kindness Week. So we really ought to think about love this week. Whilst Valentine's Day is commonly focused on romantic love, we will be thinking about loving kindness this week. Now, to start, please pause on the picture and talk about what benefits there are to being kind. What do you and the person you're kind to actually get from the experience? The people behind Random Acts of Kindness Week have made a video to explain the science behind being kind, which shows why it is good for us.
Sometimes it's easy to feel like the world's getting harder. But if we look closer, on the news, on the web, on the street, we're anything but unkind. Every day, we hear new stories of people trying to make the world a better place. And together, we can make the world that little bit kinder for all of us. It all starts with just one person, you. The thing about kindness is that it's just about the only thing in the world that doubles when you share it. And it's a fact, backed by science. Studies have shown that if you perform just one random act of kindness a day, you'll not only reduce your stress, anxiety, and depression, but your body is flooded with the same hormones that make you and the person you've helped calmer, healthier, and happier. Serotonin, which heals your wounds, helps you relax and makes you feel good. Endorphins, which reduce pain, and oxytocin, which reduces blood pressure and makes you feel more loving and loved. You'll both be more energized, feel less aches and pains, more confident, and could even live longer. And if other people see you helping someone else, they'll be filled with those same feel-good hormones, meaning they're significantly more likely to pay it forward. Like taking that extra moment to hold the elevator for someone, spotting a coffee for a stranger who's just a few cents short, giving your neighbor a hand with their groceries, even just smiling and meaning it. It doesn't take much, but it can make a huge difference for everyone. Those people you've helped will help other people, and those other people will help even more people. And those random acts of kindness can start a chain reaction that can spread across an entire community, a city, a country, and with enough of us, the world. Now, isn't that the world we all want? And it all starts with one.
Whilst the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation doesn't come from a faith perspective, it feels very similar to the way that Christians and many people of different faiths think. For Christians, the example of Jesus is the way of kindness. Here's one story about Jesus showing loving kindness.
God's story, the pool of Bethesda. So part of God's story is about a trip Jesus took to a part of Jerusalem called Bethesda. And it begins like this. Jesus was returning to Jerusalem to celebrate a big Jewish holiday. Now, Jesus had done some really incredible things since the last time he was there. He turned water into wine, threw dishonest merchants out of God's temple, healed a young boy about to die, and taught lots of people about God. While Jesus was in Jerusalem, the next part of his mission was to visit the pool of Bethesda. But this isn't the kind of pool you might be thinking of. There was no sunscreen, no swimsuits, and no big diving board for cannonballs. This was a place of sickness and pain. Blind, crippled, and paralyzed people came to the pool, waiting and hoping to be healed. See, there was a popular story that an angel with healing powers would come down and stir the water, and the first person to touch the water would be cured of whatever was hurting them. Some of the people had waited there for years, maybe even decades, hoping that one day they would be healed. Unfortunately, this story about the angel wasn't true. The pool didn't have special powers, and it wasn't going to heal anyone. But Jesus' power is real, and it can heal people. Jesus saw a man who had been sick for 38 years. He asked the man, "Would you like to get well?" That probably seemed a little weird since everyone around the pool was there to be healed. But the man answered anyway. "I can't, sir," the man replied. He had waited by the pool hoping to get healed, but because he couldn't walk, someone always made it to the pool before him, so he thought he could never be healed. But remember, the pool didn't have any power, so it wouldn't have healed him anyway. What the man didn't know was that he wouldn't have to wait for healing any longer. Jesus simply said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk." And then the man did. Instantly, he was healed. Then Jesus left, disappearing into the crowd. Kids, have you ever waited for something for a really long time? Later, Jesus found the man in the temple and told him, "Now you are well, so stop sinning, or something even worse may happen to you." Jesus didn't just want to heal the man's body, he wanted to heal his heart, because he loved him.
Jesus did lots of kind things, and these were motivated by love. Who wouldn't want to heal a sick person if you had the power to? But Jesus didn't heal all the sick people on the planet when he was here. So here are some questions for you to talk about and think about. Love must be the most common subject for songwriters, so I had a lot to choose from this week. I've gone for Dominic Barley and his song called All We Need Is Love. He explains how his Christian faith has inspired the words of this song. Enjoy.
The Apostle Paul said that we could do a whole lot of good in this life. We could even talk with tongues of angels or tongues of men. You know, we could feed the homeless, we could clothe the naked, and all those things are great. But as great as they are, if we don't have love, then we're absolutely nothing. And in this life, man, no matter what I do, I wanna be a person. I wanna live a life that's marked by love. At the end of the day, all we need is love. That's what the song's called. All we need is love. Yeah, it's all we'll ever need. All we need is love. Yeah, it's all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. Ooh. If I could talk with tongues of angels, if I could foretell truth from fable lies, restore the broken and disabled, see visions in the night like Daniel saw, I know only love is able. I know only love is able. I know only love is able. It's all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. Ooh. If I never possess faith like Moses, if I never see the hurt and broken whole, even if this Babylon prevail, I know only love is able. Of everything that rules a nation, I know only one that cannot fail. I know only love is able. It's all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. When this life is over, that our memories will burn love, and our children grown up, in this life they will return love. If we strive and struggle, all we got to do is sing love. And if our brothers fail us, all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. Ooh, all we need is love. Ooh, Yeah, it's all we'll ever need. All we need is love. Yeah, it's all we'll ever need.
For our prayer and reflection time, we have a well-known story about a starfish that reminds us that every act of kindness and love, no matter how small, is important and worthwhile.
One day, a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy picking up starfish and throwing them into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "Excuse me, but what are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The sun is rising and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they'll die." The man laughed to himself and said, "But there's too many starfish on this beach. You can't possibly make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it into the ocean. Then turning to the man, he said, "I made a difference to that one."
Another wondering question for you. What would you do in these three similar but slightly different scenarios? A, if you found £1 on the ground. B, if you found £10 on the ground. Or C, if you found £200 on the ground. I'll leave you to a conversation and I look forward to seeing you after half term. Bye for now. Bye.